Yeah, Zhenya, you and I spoke, and you told me, you explained to me a bit about why volunteer organizations and volunteers like yourself and so on are important because, the Ukrainian government and the Ukrainian military knows they need drones. But can you explain to our viewers why it is important, why the government often cannot fulfill that need?
Okay, probably I will start from the very fresh story. Uh, like 2 days ago, I've been in Kramatorsk, Slaviansk, Donetsk region, and I was like helping one of the unit with the medicine. Couple boxes, they immediately send me like thanks and a video to all the partners, never been published yet, but with thanks. And I, because the volunteers are connected with different levels of the military guys, and then they hearing news, they hearing needs. So less than 2 days from that moment, this morning, I will not go for details, they were sharing about the needs of the car, because for Kozivac they didn't have the Kozivac, they're using the other unit
Mhm.
Kozivac, and for the moving, she borrowed from mother Kia Sorento, because
Yeah,
she's
imagine the Kia
fighting.
Sorento on the
So
front,
like,
guys.
I will not go that way, that's sad story in reality, but 2 days, it's already in less than 20 or 24 hours, it's already shared with other volunteers. Maybe Yana later will, the other day, she will
Mm-hmm.
continue that story on this channel. But as a fact that it was shared with other volunteers, and today it's already been made some decisions. And I got news. I already
Wow.
called that medic and contacted with other volunteers, not me, straight, and it's already working
Mm.
in the process. Well,
Wow.
it's just example. Okay, when it comes to the drones, uh, uh, so like, have you probably guys, you've seen drones, drones were some drones were using 27 megahertz frequency and RC cars, you remember, and it was the same frequency for flying the first drones, or I mean, they were different because it was a toys. Now, and surely when we got Mavic, it was the other frequencies and better video signal, the weight of the video signal, like to have it really fast, speed of transmitting data and having good quality on the video. Okay, then it was like growing, and what we have now, like, firstly, it was, we were calling it like the first drones used. We were calling it, it's like wedding drones, because they were using the first drones, the same drones the operator or the cameraman were using to for footage during the wedding. In reality, then and that kind, and let's say for racing, FPVs for racings, like it toys. And then it started electronic warfare to let's say to destroy the signal, to disconnect the signal of control frequencies and the frequencies of transmitting the video. And this, and yes, Ukrainian army, Russian army, changing. Okay, they one side found, okay, that we use, like, for example, they, like, someone is flying, like using the frequencies, for example, 915 megahertz, and to stop it, electronic warfare system or jammers were generating the signal, destroyed signal in that, let's say, using that
Mm.
frequencies for interrupt the signal, and the moving, the drone are losing the signal. So it's a maybe long story, like I'm coming to something. And now, so this is the war. Okay, the one side found like a weapon to destroy, I mean, to stop the drone and to shoot down the drones on that signal, on that frequencies. They're looking for the frequencies which are open, let's say, free air to come through to success the mission. And both sides are fighting. And now, like, it's sometimes it's a week, massively changes the frequencies. And when we talk about the whole structure of Ukrainian army, with the volunteers, it works like that. Oh, we need new transmitters with that frequency. Hey guys, who has the money on accounts? Let's say like this. Oh, where can we buy those transmitters? Because these transmitters are, I mean, really needed now, because there is nothing like to fight with against it. So the volunteers calling, and volunteers go, I mean, calling, contacting straight with manufacturer, and manufacturer is supplying, and it goes straight to army. With when it goes about the army, it's not about like 100 drones or 1,000 drones or even 10,000 drones. It goes about like 100,000 drones, and then it goes to like huge contract, not for a month. It's a big money, and sometimes it's for, I've heard, for 12 months. Piper, can you hear it? Contracted fixed frequency 12 months in the front, and manufacturer are happy. That okay, it will be worthless using that the drones in the 2 months, but he signed the contract with the Ministry of Defense, let's say. It was like that. Now it's changing, but still it's not a month or even two, it's 6 months. And this is why in Ukraine we got the project Red Drone, meaning you probably heard. Okay, if you heard, then you can find much more information. But it goes much faster, and it's not because it's in Ukraine. It's because it's too massive structure. It's not so fast as a volunteers line.
Yeah, but remember, again, talking about the front line, it's 1,500 kilometers or more or less now with the new areas. So you guys can imagine that how many drones are we talking about?
A lot.
And two, the resources that you need to keep on flying them. We're not talking about 100,000 or 200,000 drones. We're talking way more than that.
It just, so the question was like, why it's important? Because it's faster, it's cheaper, and it's easier to find a way, and much more flexibility. This is why it's so important for guys with like for all who support and make this like honorable decision to support and donate for army who fights like for own territory, like our territory, on our own country, for against of invasion, to look for the organizations, charities, volunteers who's trade support, who connected and giving right reports. It's that's it.
Just no, actually, I actually want to add on to that, because you and I were talking, and we were talking about how people often think that it's like these big donations that make a difference. You know what I mean? Like, yes, they do make a difference, but oftentimes it's the small thing, like antenna or a battery or things. And people don't, I think, realize that oftentimes those are, you're like thinking, but it's one power pack or it's 3 antennas. How does that make a difference? But that does make a difference. It does make it possible to do your job, because if you can't
Imagine,
connect.
yeah, it's simple. I can put people quickly in perspective because I know, obviously, being in the war. So imagine that you're sitting for 15 days. All of a sudden, you start hearing accurate fire towards your position, yeah? But you cannot communicate to your command. You cannot communicate to the position next to you to help you. You can't communicate to your QRF team to come in and give you fire support. So imagine that You are taking fire, you're having contact with the enemy, but you've got no communication. Or, even better, to put it in civilian terms, you're driving in the middle of nowhere where the closest town is 50 or 80 kilometers from you. There's only one car a day on that road, and suddenly you hit a pothole and two of your tires blown out. So you can't change both because you only have one extra one. Imagine quickly, and you're trying to phone somebody, but you don't have signal. What do you do? And that is the difference on things like spider antennas, batteries, radio systems. I mean, if you cannot communicate, you cannot plan, you cannot execute.
And yeah, may I enter something? Absolutely right, and this is most important in a war, to have it fast communication and fast answer. And it's like, okay, from the perspective of all the wars are, in all the wars, the situation is everything not enough. In all the wars, as a fact, it's not enough everything, not enough people, not enough weapon, not enough everything. So information, so in reality it's a people's war. And when it goes about like, okay, the commanders, everything is okay, but commanders plan, okay, your position here, then something happened, it's a war, and this position being moved, for example, changed, the line being changed, and then the landscape changed, and radio horizon being changed, meaning new needs. And sometimes volunteers can help in 2 days, even less. I mean, I was going to Viper's team, like preparing the shipment, and then on the way found, like, the guy said, "Hey man, we on the Pokrovsk direction. One unit needs extra batteries because just 5 extra batteries. If possible 10, but I say 5, I can ship it now. I'm shipping the same day they got it being transported to the position, because the shelling, different things, battering being, I mean, you need it every time. They call it chocolates. He immediately, is it right?
Yeah.
We need chocolates. And a really nice picture. A really nice picture. Zhenya,
Oh, wow.
thank you. It's there. It's saving lives. We have option. We can communicate more. On the same day, the other guy called to say, "Hey, we need additional antenna because the like Russians started to use electronic warfare system to destroy a communication for Ukrainian radios, Motorola's. We need that foldable, the other type." And it's, I mean, they just reaching the volunteer, meaning it's non-stop. And it's good when the, plus one more thing about small things. When the small things coming to guys, it's encouraging like crazy. We are not alone. Because there is a big difference. Yeah, you supply to some center, let's say, like huge charity supplied 1,000 to some warehouse. But when the volunteers are touching the small, like, I mean, in small groups, in encouraging people, oh, they staying with us. We have communication. And like, oh, they send us something. For example, I'm sending sometimes coffee, drip coffee packs. Okay. And it's like something, well, yeah. Oh, wow, thank you. And he's just enjoying. And then he says, you know, it encouraging me that the whole world. And when sometimes like this batteries, like 5 pieces, for example, it was sent like by paid by guy in UK, just 5 pieces, and said, and by the way, Pasha, he asked me to find guys who needs 5 batteries. It's you. He says, oh, thank you, Pasha. And then he says, it's encouraging us to fight. We're not alone. People from different places are with us, and through these small things, it's important. So, and plus, there is no small donations.
No. I just want to add on to that. Thank you so much, Petra, for I know that is your
Can I
non-smoking
say?
plant. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, say.
So yeah, it's the Norwegian krone. Is it not SEK? As far as I know.
I think so, yeah. But isn't she
Anti-smoking fund.
Swedish?
So Petra
Yeah.
stops smoking and she donates the same amount every time. Well, not
Yeah.
every time, but most streams that I sometimes.
And then I
pick up,
also
so.
just want to say hi to Liam and Adam, who have also joined, and Silver Earth, of course. So just hi to
Silver
all of
Earth,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome to see.
Yeah. I mean,